It's August and AMC could pop, it could squeeze. This could be the month right here. Alright, hey everyone, I'm here in my studio, I'm making videos, I'm going over everything that's going to be going on here in August, and of course, I'm coming across AMC here. Now, I have been making videos saying like, hey, July looks like a washout, and guess what? July was a washout. We didn't see much. The only thing we did see is that, you know, AMC, it held its ground pretty good. We stayed in the high 30s, almost that $40 range on the bid price. We're still looking good here. I still like where we're at. But here's the thing. I feel like August can be a really good month for AMC. I think this is going to be a really interesting month. And I say that just because August is going to be a very interesting time for the stock market. It's going to be an interesting time for all stocks, especially AMC, to see what happens here. So, and then I am a firm believer that we're going to see a big market crash here towards the end of the year from the housing market. The housing market's going to tumble, and the stock market's going to take a little bit of a hit with that. Obviously, going to be a big hit. So, what does this all have to do with AMC? What is, you know, why are we talking about this? Well, like anything, you know, AMC is a part of the stock market. So, we're also talking about, you know, the whole virus coming back on here. We're talking about this Delta virus, you know, all this stuff is going on. So we're talking about wearing masks again, double masks. So right now we're like, we've reached our destination with the ship, but now it's like, hey, listen, I think we're going to turn the boat back around and go back. And everyone's like, you know, what we just got here, you know? So listen, I'm not trying to talk politics, but anytime we have something to do with a broad outlook view of the country, especially, and I'm talking about the United States stock market, which AMC is on that, that's what it is a part of. So it could get a little spooky here going into the future. Are there going to be more shutdowns? Are there going to be, you know, things are going to get sticky again here. What's going to happen? So one thing I keep thinking of, obviously, we're here for the AMC squeeze. You know, I don't have to, you know, if you're watching the video, then obviously you know about what is going on with AMC, the whole hedge fund, you know, we're squeezing them, they're squeezing, you know, the whole thing, you know, I don't have to go over that. But what I'm thinking here, going into August, you know, if things were to maybe start shutting down again, you know, what if, you know, AMC were to say, you know what, hey, we're gonna shut things down a little bit here. We're gonna, you know, our hours are gonna change. Things are gonna get, you know, we're gonna tone it down a little bit here. We're gonna cooperate with what our governors, you know, our president is asking. That's what we're gonna do. Maybe things could shut down again. I don't know that they will, but it's very interesting if they could. So what would that mean? That would mean you would have a company that just months ago in 2020, you know, pretty much this time last year, they were talking about going bankrupt. Obviously, which led into this whole squeeze situation, because I don't have to go over the history, but that's what we're in right now. With the apes doing what they did and pushing AMC to where it's at, and we're still waiting on this one big, massive squeeze here. So what does that have to do with anything? It has everything to do with AMC right now, because imagine if AMC were to start closing down again. Imagine if AMC were saying, you know what, we're going to stop here for a second. Would the stock go down? You know, obviously, I don't think the stock would go down. I think the stock would go up a lot more, because the bets would be on so much more, because you still have the hedge funds betting against AMC, and then you had the ape community pushing in even more on top of that. So very interesting what could come here in the future, and that could really help people that have massive amount of shares of AMC right now. You know, I'm one of them. You know, we could really see something happen here in the future. And I think August is going to be like that tipping point. You know, it's like, what's going to happen here? You know, what are gas prices doing? What is inflation doing? What is the stock market doing? You know, is the stock market ever going to get back to even what it was doing last year? So friends, one of the last big days we had here with AMC with volume was July 21st. And that was, you know, right at 158 million with volume. And then since then, we have not been able to break into the 100 million volume area. But it looks like we're about due to see some bigger volume come back with the AMC here. Now, what makes August interesting for AMC? Well, one thing that makes August interesting for AMC is that we're going to be going into new calls, meeting new puts, and new puts meeting new calls. One obvious thing, no one knows when AMC is going to really have a big squeeze. When this big squeeze that everyone is talking about, no one knows the date. If everyone knew the date, you know, everyone would just buy in right then and there. It would be pretty obvious and we would all know. the things that we're waiting for have not come to light yet. We have not seen them, so it's just a waiting game at this point. And that's why I'm talking about if things were to start shutting down again and putting more stress on AMC as a company and their stock, it would get even more interesting. So friends, every week we learn more about AMC, we learn more about the naked shorts, we learn more about the puts, the calls, the options, what's meeting what, and what is going on with the AMC, and closer to hitting this big squeeze, which I know there's a lot of people going, the squeeze is over. I don't really think the squeeze is over. I don't really think we have even touched the surface of really what's coming here. I am a firm believer that this big squeeze is gonna take a little bit of time, but going into August, into these next months, it could make it come a little bit faster if things were to get a little bit worse here for the market in general. And at that point, I think you would have a lot of people pulling out of AMC because, believe it or not, there are still people buying AMC just because they think it's a good company to buy into and that it's worth $30 a share. It's not worth $30 a share, I'll tell you that right now. It's worth $30 a share because we're waiting to have a big squeeze here when the investors finally push the hedge funds up against the wall and they pay out, and then and there you have a big squeeze happen. But like I said, no one really knows when that date is, when that's going to happen. We just have to watch this day by day and look at the evidence that we have in front of us. So friends, with all that said, I wish everyone the best of luck. I really do mean that. I hope August is really good to all of us, and just be careful out there because August could get rough. It could get a little dicey out there. But friends, as always, I will talk to you soon. Best of luck. Bye everyone.